personally challenging aspect of creating or creation would possibly be the act of creation, because especially today, it's so easy to not create anything. It's so much easier to just turn on Netflix or any streaming service and watch a movie or watch whatever funny video memes are online, or to be on Facebook or Instagram. There's so many other distractions. And it's not that all of those are bad. You know, the other distractions could be reading a book. Anytime I'm not working on a movie could be considered a distraction, even if it's, you know, resetting my mind and it's necessary and important to take a break. But that's really the hardest part, is to just commit to it and say, like, here's the first step. I have to do this. Once I get past the first shot of a movie, then I'm usually in it and it's not as challenging. I think the most challenging aspects are the very beginning and just committing to that very first shot. And then towards the end, when there's a couple of shots left, if it's been a long project, I might look at the script and just say, you know, can I really cut these shots? Do I need these anymore? Like, is it gonna make my movie any better? Usually I'll stick it out and finish those shots. Sometimes I will just cut shots and say, okay, I don't really need a time lapse of the stars, or I don't need this because it doesn't push the narrative forward or something. But yeah, I think just committing to that first moment is the hardest, especially with any kind of art. In relation to stop motion, it's where I place my camera, what my lights look like. And there's usually, I don't want to say there's an infinite amount of possibilities of where I can place my camera, because I'll be limited to the tripod or the angles that I can get in a certain location of, you know, if I'm in the desert, am I blocking out the sun, or am I blocking out a trail sign that's gonna give it away that I'm next to a trail or something like that. So there are some limitations, but just the overwhelming, daunting aspect of this first shot can be anything, basically. And you just have to decide, this is what I'm doing. So it's a commitment. The most rewarding aspect of creating is definitely sharing the film with other people at film festivals. I love screening my films anywhere. Having them play online is great to see people watching them. But when I screen them in festivals, I get to be there and I get to hear the audience reaction, whether they laugh at my jokes or whether they ask questions afterward in the Q&A about how I shot something. Or a lot of times I'll get questions like, was that real snow in Snowdicius? Or were those real clouds in Chief Serenby? Or is that really the desert in Saturn Return? Mainly because we're so accustomed to seeing CGI and computer graphics that everyone thinks everything must just be computer animation. And usually my response when I got the question about Chief Serenby's clouds moving in the background when he's looking over the highway, my answer was, no, that's what nature looks like. It just looks that good. Those are not fake clouds, those are real clouds. We just have to look up from our phones sometimes to realize, wow, nature is beautiful. So that's really great, to just meet and interact with people face to face in actual screenings. I would say that's the most rewarding, is, you know, getting to share it with other people. One of the programs I offered here was the sound design program, and I think what was great about that is I had a small bag of random miscellaneous objects that I didn't even know what was going to be in there, so it really just put me on the spot in terms of, here's how we're going to listen to something differently and what it could be used for in a film or animation. So I think that was a lot of fun because it was also interactive for the participants. Given the circumstances of COVID-19, with the stop motion one, we couldn't be as interactive, but the sound design one, I think we were able to give the participants something to do as well, so that they weren't just listening to me the whole time. I guess what inspires me now, like where I find inspiration for my stories, it's either from personal experiences growing up, where I've lived, personal experiences with relationships and other people who I've met. So I try and bring something unique to each story that's specific to me, but at the same time I've still made what I consider just fun, entertaining pieces like Indiana Jones, a reinterpretation of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom as stop motion, or a reinterpretation of Night of the Living Dead, where those aren't based on my experiences. If anything, you know, what's personal about those is just my love of those films and bringing that fun, playful attitude of when you watch it, it kind of feels like it's a kid playing with toys. So I guess I try to do personal stories most of the time, but anything can be inspiring. Road trips, camping trips, music, other movies, other people, just anything that may happen to me while I'm walking down the street. I don't know. Yeah, there's never a moment where I'm like, I'll just turn on inspiration right now and give it a go. It just hits. I can't predict it. So the advice I would have for anyone who wants to get started, I think ties into the question about what's the most challenging aspect of creation. And the hardest part is to just say, okay, I'm going to do this. Saturday is going to be the day that I create a short film with my Legos or with my action figures, or I'm going to start drawing or do a flip book. It's really, you just have to take that leap and say you're going to do it. Instead of waiting for someone to take your hand and help you through it. The idea of, I think a lot of people, including myself, will procrastinate by saying things like, oh, well, I have to watch some tutorials online first, or, oh, maybe I should sign up for a class to do it. Don't wait for a class, don't wait for a textbook, don't wait for someone else. Just do it and learn while you're doing it.